Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Light Queen Lisa. Today, it's a hot one. We are in the middle of it. It is September. We're in National Preparedness Month. I am unvaccinated, unmasked, unafraid. I don't remember the other thing my shirt says, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it all. I think we all are. Jill's got COVID. May she have many big pharma cures and find her way. And somehow Joey is negative. So be right back with Sean right after this on New Truth Tuesday. Hey, Sean, how's it going?
It's going good. Lisa, how are you doing?
Oh, Lord. So
Okay.
United Airlines are down. They've been down because magically today's the day that they went live on their AI. Their chatbot got installed. There was a guy who he was in charge of installing or launching their chatbot, whatever. However that works. And so that it was implemented today, and magically they're having technical problems, and they have downed the entire airline. I thought that was interesting, as well as something to do with, well, I sent you a link with the Russian drones or something.
Moscow stopping.
Yeah.
Flights.
Yeah, I translated it and took a picture.
Yeah, I was reading the comments, and because you have to translate them too, and they were all pretty. They don't like Russians. Whatever language, I think it's Spanish, but wherever that,
Italian. It was Italian.
Well, they don't like Russians at all. Because that was like one of the regular Moscow, like regular people in Russia, are going to start asking questions, and there were people like, well, they have to have a brain to ask questions.
So that was most likely bots then, if I had to guess, because that's probably more the
pretty rough.
MSM narrative is
coming from an Italian family. That can be kind of rough.
Yeah, that's my guess. Is that was MSM narrative then. There is more and more of the, Prigozhin, or is it Prigozhin? Is that the name of the
Wagner guy?
No, I'm sorry. I'm getting the wrong names coming out. Sorry, I've been at school all day. I have too many names in my brain.
Also, it's over 100 degrees in September.
It's hot, yes, and they made us go outside for an hour for lunch, and it was like hot, and the kids are wanting to play ball, and then like I'm dodging soccer balls and footballs while I'm trying to like
do something if you're homeschooling.
The irony.
Yeah.
You must comply while you're a homeschool co-op.
Making you do stuff at school, even though I'm
so to be a part of the community, it's like the no shoes, no shirt, no service. It's a group, and so to be a part of the community, if you want to use their services, be a part of this group, you must follow their rules. And our fearless leader wants everyone outside, and it is good for the kids to get the physical activity and all that, so that they don't have the wiggles and all that in the afternoon. It's good for them to have the activity and all that, but for the moms, like,
wiggles.
I don't need that.
What was that group? It was a kids group.
There was a kids group called the Wiggles. Yeah.
Yeah, would sell out stadiums and stuff. Yeah, it was.
I can't imagine that, but maybe. Was that a thing?
My grandson loved the Aquabots. They were weird.
It's another children. Yeah, that's a weird that is a weird cultural thing that adults would put that much energy and money and whatever into, like, oh, let's take our children to a concert and spend money on, like, that's weird, you know. I'm sure if aliens came down, they would think that was very strange.
They might be aliens they're going to see. You know, they've been here. The government admitted to it. Nobody cares. It's not even news. What was I going to say? Something about the Aquabots or Wiggles or I don't know. Now I forgot.
I don't care. It's all right. We don't care about the Aquapods or the Wiggles. They have discovered inconsistencies.
We discovered inconsistencies in equipment valuation for Ukraine. For a combined total of $6.2 billion.
$6.2 billion. So they're worried about us paying taxes, but they can't find $6.2 billion of equipment evaluation sent to Ukraine.
That's what they're saying. You know, it's always like way more than, oh, we just found this, and oh, we forgot about this. But people, I'm getting really frustrated with people again, just how dumb they are. How, and I saw this great quote. It's like people, it was about propaganda. It said propaganda doesn't trick critical thinkers into believing something that's false. It just gives weak-minded people an excuse to not see the truth. Like, I think people, they don't want to see the truth. They don't want to be awake and know what's going on. So
that's a good point, because it's just really a distraction. The truth still exists.
Yeah, but
they just have a distraction to look at.
Something is so stupid, and then like people just like, well, it's okay. What are you gonna do? Well, yeah, I guess that tracks. Yeah, I guess that could happen. It's like, no, it couldn't happen. You know, I mean, you have an administration that left billions and billions of dollars and deadly weapons, all kinds of like weapons, not just like guns, but weapons and equipment in Afghanistan, and left it in other places. And they're the ones who are telling like Americans, oh, you shouldn't be allowed to, you're irresponsible to have that shotgun. You're irresponsible to have 3 guns in your house. They're telling, but they've been more irresponsible with weapons than any regular American. You know, they've left them, they've lost them. They just lost $6 billion. What if I lost $6,000 worth of guns? You know, or things that were supposed to go to defense of my home or of me.
Well,
think about that.
To that point, did I send you that article about that they were just passing? Glenn Beck was talking about it. That they either just passed or they were passing that it's not the ghost gun law. It's the one where when you're at those events or whatever, and you now can no longer sell a gun at a show or whatever. What am I trying to talk about? You know what I'm talking about? The gun show law?
The fake gun loophole.
The loophole.
Yeah, it's not real, but yeah.
Yeah, they took that away or whatever.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they can.
So it didn't pass yet?
Well, okay, like I bought you a shotgun for Christmas, right?
Right.
What if I wanted to sell you a shotgun? I could do that, right? It's America. You have the right to bear arms. I have the right to bear arms. We have the right to engage in commerce. I bought it. I can go put an ad on Facebook. I could maybe for a little bit when I took it down. But you can put an ad online. You can put an ad on different sites. You can put an ad in the shopper, 30 nickel in the paper. You can say I have some guns I'm selling. In the state sale, there's several guns. That's legal. That's legal. That's our Second Amendment. So you have a show where a bunch of people go that want to buy guns, and you have a bunch of people that are going to sell guns. So you pay your $40 to have a booth, and you go bring, if you want to sell those 3 guns, you sit down and you have those 3 guns. To say that you're not allowed to do that at a gun show is the first step in saying you're not allowed to sell your guns to other people or give them to other people.
So when I watched this, it was late, and
Now, here is the thing. There is this gun show loophole. You know that, Stu, right? Huge loophole.
Almost all guns are bought through the gun show loophole.
Yeah.
Unless they're ghost guns.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 types of guns.
Yeah. But the kids in the mystery van have already unmasked the ghost gun.
It's true.
Okay,
That's
so
true. Yeah.
And they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those pesky kids.
But they're
so the gun show loophole. Do you know what it is?
come on.
Yes, the gun show loophole.
Yes, go.
Is when you go to a gun show.
Go Speed Racer.
And there is someone there selling a private seller.
Speed Racer.
Who is selling their guns. And because they're a private seller, not a business, they don't have to go through all of the background checks.
Go Speed Racer, go. You got it. Okay.
Very small percentage of guns sold this way.
Like very small.
Yes.
Very small. And basically what he said is absolutely right. It's a private seller. So if I have a gun to sell and I'm not a gun store, I don't have my license, my FFL, I can sell my gun, but it's a private transaction between 2 people. Okay. Well, you now have to prove that you're not in business looking for profit on your gun. Now hang on just a second.
They changed it.
I'm a capitalist. Okay.
It's not a law.
And I'm looking for profit. I don't know about anybody else, but I think pretty much everybody, when you go to work, how dare you look for profit when you're at work? Yeah. I mean, that's why we go.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's the most unconstitutional thing I've ever heard of.
It is, but they changed it. So this is once again Congress not doing their job.
Well,
they get to be the good guy.
Do their job, and they'll stop that. But this is the ATF doing overreach, just like they did on the
just like the SEC.
Yeah,
making rules instead of Congress making laws.
They made a law
for we the people,
rule, which is a law that was going to turn 30 million Americans into felons, and did turn me into a felon. Just overnight, he said you have 3 months to get rid of all the pistol braces that you have, and they don't do anything. They just make it more stable. They were made for disabled veterans to be able to shoot, because it just stabilizes the pistol. But they said it's against the law, and anyone that has it is a felony. And Congress, him and Hod, they had all these, and it was so much theater. And I thought I was watching all this stuff because I was like, hey, this is a big deal. It's going to turn 30 million people into felons. And then it went into effect. People were felons. Literally, like a week later, it was just like close to 2 weeks, Congress just said, no, it's unconstitutional. Can't do it. And I was like, why didn't they just say that 3 months ago when the ATF said they were going to do it? When the ATF put out that this is a new law.
So that Restrain Act should take in effect of this same issue and should demand that Congress take action against this rule and reverse this.
Okay, I bought a lot of guns at gun shows. A lot. And I have bought one, like they're talking about this loophole, one time. Mm-hmm. And it freaked me out because it was a cheap shotgun. It was a guy, he had like 3 guns. I mean, if you have extra guns, and we do it, Ted does it all the time. He'll buy a gun, and he has a huge gun, or I have like 7 shotguns. If I just want to clear a room, I'll sell 1 or 2. But if I was like, hey man, I need to sell some of these guns and make some money, or I want to buy something, or whatever. Well, I'm an American, whatever. I'm like, oh, there's a gun show in Belton. I'll go there and take 4 guns. I mean, instead of putting an ad in the paper, having maybe someone you don't know go to your house to look at the guns, loading guns in the car to go meet them at Walmart. It's a lot. It's a big mess. Whereas you're in a secure place where there's literally police, keeping security there, and then everyone that comes in there wants to buy a gun. That's a good place to go sell you 3 guns.
That's a market.
So that's what, if I wanted to sell multiple guns, but you have to pay, like $100 for the booth. So if I want to sell 1 gun, I'm not going to go do it. And most people are going to sell a gun or 2. But if you want to sell 4 or 5, and because you need some money for something, then you would go there. You pay your $100, but you have to make, for the government to say you're not allowed to try to make profit. That is controlling commerce. That's controlling your pursuit of happiness. That is just so socialist, fascist. It's all the ists. They have no place in that. To literally say you're not allowed to make, how do you
make profit?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what if you did? What if you bought an SKS for $99, 10 years ago, and now, because of all the embargoes and restrictions, and it's worth like $600? You're like, oh man, I'm gonna make.
But then include inflation, and you're probably fine. You're probably still not making any money. Yeah.
So then, do you have to be an accountant then? Well, according to inflation, I'm not breaking the law. I mean, what is the point of that?
What is the calculation?
Why are you trying? I mean, it's just bureaucracy getting so big. They're just being bureaucratic for the point of being bureaucratic.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if anything, this shows how much this institution is not needed. Like, that's one thing I like about Vivek. He doesn't just say we have to overhaul this. He's like, no, we'll kill the FBI. And then I saw him on Bill Maher. He's like, oh, you're crazy. How are you going to just get rid of the FBI? What about this and that? He goes,
just defund them.
Blew me away. So there's like 25,000 employees for the FBI, right? 23,000 work in the building. In one building in Washington. They're all bureaucrats or, work for the bureau in one place. There's only 1,500 field agents. There's only
in the field? Wow.
FBI agents. That's it. So he said, there's no point in that. Those 1,500 agents, good, people wanting to enforce the law, blah, blah, blah. The ones that are working drug cases can go to the DEA. The other people can go, to Homeland Security or, there's like, everything can be absorbed in these other, there's no need for the FBI. There's no need for the NSA, CIA. There's like, you need maybe one, but there's no point in having multiple agencies that do the same thing, just a little nuanced, But I like that he is explaining that. I had no idea that in one building in Washington there was 23,000 employees.
Wow.
And Bill Maher was like, "What? That's how big is the building?" He said it's one of the biggest buildings in America.
Well, I think we're seeing, and for the first time, when I guess it was in 20. I don't know if it was in 2020. I got really frustrated. I got frustrated several times, but I was like talking to my friend, Chad Alexander, who has a local radio show, and his wife was on Trump's campaign, was one of the campaign managers or something. And I was like, they just need to shut down the government. I'm fine. If the budget's broke and they don't have any money, that's fine. Just shut it down. And he's like, Lisa, that will never happen. Just let it go, And I was like, no. It's broken. Like, it's unconstitutional. They don't need to pass a new budget. Like, just shut it down. And I think that actually is a possibility at the end of this month, the end of September. And I'm all for that. So
yeah, it'll never happen. But
I'm still hopeful.
In our lifetime, it did happen. I remember when I was in a foreign country, living on a military base. So it was a big deal. That's one of the reasons why I remember it so vividly.
So in Cliff High's data, there is and Trek with 2Ks, and I talked about it, a year ago, maybe, where there's something about where the military gets stuck overseas and is unable to get fuel to get home, or they're unable to buy fuel. And I want to say it's something about the government being shut down, or unable to, but it's something about them being unable to purchase fuel. And G20 is this weekend. China has refused. Xi Jinping is refusing to attend. They're seeing a lot of support with BRICS. If this all goes down the end of this month, we could see something like that. Could be very interesting.
For the past few years, I've always thought, when Trump was talking about getting rid of TikTok, I was like, man, if like Facebook went down for a day, I don't know if you remember, Facebook and Instagram went down for a day, and it was like a huge
There
thing.
was a big hack. Yeah.
It was a huge deal. And I was like, man, if social media would just die just for 2 weeks, man. I reckon. Just for 2 weeks. Just so people could
would lift their head up.
But understand that they can live without it, because there's and also people would see how much of an addiction it is. If I leave I have my phone right here, but if it was in my room, I know it's in my room, but I would be nervous. It would be gnawing at me, like, what if I got a text? What if and it's troubling. I mean, those are all signs of addiction. I'm sitting here talking about how people, when things are so evident and people are just stupid, like that's an evident sign of addiction. You can placate it and lie to yourself, but it is an addiction. If you're scared or nervous, that's affecting you just because you don't have something. What's the difference?
If you're having a physical response from it,
that and someone who's like getting the shakes or doesn't have a drink, and they're not going to get drunk. They just need it to calm themselves down. That's an addiction. Right. So I always just wished it would just get shut down for like 2 weeks, man. Just so people can.
I think it takes 3 weeks to break an addiction. 21 days, right? For a new habit.
Never lived without it. At least we know what life was like when it didn't exist. And now when people talk about it, they talk about it like it's, 7-year-olds working in a mine. It's like, yeah, kids used to walk to school when they were like 7 alone, and walking outside. It's like, I remember walking to kindergarten, which was like, and it was like half a mile,
and safe. Yeah.
To think about that now, like you could get in trouble. People like, why are you walking? Hey, little 6-year-old, 5-year-old, what are you doing out walking at 7:30 in the morning?
No, I was nervous the other day letting my 12-and-a-half-year-old go to the bathroom by himself.
Yeah.
At a public place.
I see. That was always.
He's 12 and a half, and I'm terrified.
That was always something. Yeah. I was nervous about my kids going to public bathrooms because that's where the predators are.
Right.
That's where they wait. But like just walking to school, and we had some like these people try to kidnap my kids once.
Oh God.
They were walking to school, and they came home. They were walking to the bus stop, I think. Anyway, they were like, "Did you tell someone to pick us up?" I'm like, "No." And someone pulled up. I'm like, "Hey, your dad wanted me to pick you up. I take you to school. Come on." And everyone was like, "Okay." And then Al's like, "No." Al's like, "No, we got to take the bus. We're almost there." And then I shouldn't say this, so I'm gonna say it quietly. But this dude was trying really hard to get them in the car, and Alex just peed his pants. He goes, "Oh man,
thank God."
Because I peed my pants, I can't get in your car. And the guy was like, "Okay," and drove off.
Thank God.
That was very smart to do.
That was smart. Yeah.
But I mean, it was a small town. Called the cops. Cops weren't even there all the time. Like they had hours every other day or something to go into the police station. And they were like, "Well, that's weird, but I wouldn't think about it." There's also 3 prisons in that town. So it could have been like some person, going to see someone who's a criminal.
You just never know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but that was a really weird thing that happened in my small town.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I had a single mom when I was a kid, in the 70s. So that was weird. And we were called latchkey kids because we'd come home, I'd, go in the house, lock the door, do my homework and watch TV till my mom got home at like 6, but where I go out and play if I didn't have, but I had all this freedom and responsibility. And when you talk to people about it now, though, they're like, oh, that's such a foreign concept. It's literally like you're talking about something in the 30s or the 20s or the 1800s. Oh, well, you're 12, honey. You're old enough to get married. It's that kind of crazy thinking now. If you talk about just your own life and when you were growing up, it's nuts.
We're getting old, Sean. We're getting old.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump over to your channel and see what you have to talk about. You guys, things are moving fast, and Uncle Cliff said that here coming up pretty quickly. Here we're gonna have like a whole month's worth of news in a day. So this is like ramping up exponentially fast. We're starting to see it already. So stay frosty, my friends. See you guys over on Sean's channel right now.